Hello guys, and welcome again to Dread Wargaming. Now it's October, and I've been saving like mad for October for the last year. I knew all the new orky goodness was coming. I knew it was coming, so I saved. And so I made a few orders, taking advantage of a few discounted rates. I think a lot of the third-party companies were doing special orc events over October, so I took advantage of a 20% off offer with Kromlech. They do these quite often, so if you follow them on Facebook or somewhere like that, you'll be able to see when they're holding a 10%, 15% or 20% off, and take advantage of that, because their models are fantastic, as I'm about to show you, because I've just received a big order of orcs that I made. I've made a few big orders with Kromlech over the last few years because I really do enjoy their stuff, and I'm about to show you why, because it's ultra good quality, ultra high detail. The faces of the orcs and the goblins, as they're called, they are very unique. They have Kromlech has a style, sort of like long in the nose, sort of longer jawed orcs, which I kind of like. They've got an old school sort of style, and they mix in well. I find that having a good variety of boys is, paramount to myself. I mean, some people like all their boys to look very, very similar. I like a lot of variety. I like there to be fat ones, skinny ones, short and tall. I like variety. However, I do like things to tie in. So I mean, there are some models that I've seen out there from some other third parties, and even there is one model, one I actually ordered this time, which I'll show you. I'll point out the head. The actual model's fantastic, but the head it's one of their oldest sculpts from Kromlech, I'm quite sure, and it just doesn't have the same feel as the rest. It's not half as characterful, so I'm likely to change that one, but we'll have a look at that when we get there. Without further ado, let's have a look at what I got. Okay guys, the first package we have is the ORKS Incinerator team. Now this is made up of 5 bodies of orcs, so we'll have a look at the bodies first, shall we? There's 5 of them there, that's the pile. Right, so first we have, oops, this is difficult with a camera in the way, this dude, and you notice he's wearing these, they're in these great coats. This one's got some fuel on it's got double fuel on the back. They're wearing these great coats with the openings at the bottom here. Now, they're for German orcs, German style orcs. Kromlech do a lot of sort of German style orcs, World War II German style orcs. Although they're not, that's nice, a radioactive sign. They're not actually so definitely supposed to be World War II uniforms. They have been orcified, so you can get away with them as something else. So, myself, being a freebooter captain, I think once you put a freebooter head on these guys, you should be away. They should be looking fairly piratey anyway, because those jackets, let's face it, they could easily be a pirate's jacket. Look at that skull emblem on the back. That's very cool. We like that very much. What else do we have? This guy here, he's got plenty of stick bombs. Let's have a look at his backpack. Oh, nice dials and things. Nice. Hoses. Very pretty. Good bit of armour on him too. And this guy, last but not least. Oh, another cool backpack with dial. Fuse. Very nice. Good details. One thing you will notice with the resin that Kromlech use is it's really high quality resin. Take a look at these masks, for example. There's naff hiding up to be done on them, really. I mean, a little bit, but not much. And they'll fit onto most necked bodies, which is handy. I'm hoping that all the new orc range from GW is the same, and maybe not. These heads myself, I won't actually use these for burner boys. I prefer to actually use gas mask heads on burner boys. I'll use these on mechs most probably. And let's just have a quick look at some of the burners. So there's one. Nice details again. That's, yeah,
very nice. And this one, oh, it's another skull emblem, very nice indeed. This one has fuel in a hand. Take a look at this one. Oh, that one's got checker pattern on the top. I like a bit of checker pattern. And a skull. Wow. Details. This one's a little bit more plain, but it's only a barrel end. And a little piece of armour there. I'm not sure what that's going to. It's nice though. The bullet holes. Look at those bullet holes. Beautiful. So little tidying up to be done on this thing too. So yes, as I was saying, the resin is very high quality. With as far as resin is concerned, I think it's one of the best out there. Kromlech. You can actually work with it. It's like butter, so you can actually cut into it with a modelling knife. It doesn't snap quite as easy as some resins. It's got a little bit of durability to it, and it takes paint well. You know, some resins are a little bit too shiny and they don't take paint so well, and the undercoats can even chip off. So that's the Incinerator team. Next up we have the Goblin Flamer team. Now this is quite an easy one to show you. We've got one grot who has the flamer and a mask there, and his assistant who has this barrel, a tube that he's going to feed it with. Now I think these are pretty cool models. I shall probably use them as the additional weapon for somebody. You know, if somebody has a scorcher, combi scorcher, then like a big guy, like a knob or something, a mega knob or something like that, with a custom scorcher or a war boss or something, or a combi scorcher, sorry, I might represent it with these guys rather than actually adding the weapon itself to his shooter. You know, it gives you a little bit more something to think about, something more to play with. I mean, you couldn't play these otherwise as well. You could count the two of them as maybe an orc and count that as a burner boy. That's another option, I suppose. The other thing to notice actually is that Kromlech's goblins, and their orcs in fact, they have a very distinct style, which, you know, I like. Next up, we have some pilot heads and bodies, torsos. I've already had these before, but I wanted some more because once I'd got hold of them, I actually had really liked the detail on them so much that I just thought these are great for adding variety. Like, I mean, war bikers, boys, you know, just normal boys, and, you know, especially if they're going in a truck or something like that. You know, like speed freaks. These are perfect speed freak bodies, if you ask me. Good for your fly boys as well. Obviously, they are supposed to be pilots. They're doubles, so I'd only show you the one time. And the heads, I think they're nice. I like this guy on the end here. He's cool. So that's those. Of course, very nice. Nothing more orky than bionics. And these are orc mono wheels. So we've got two of each that are in here. I've also had these before. I think these are great though. I actually had a little bit of a problem. I had this one mounted onto a model that I was painting, and I didn't like the paint job, so I started stripping it, and I used a much too aggressive, I was using methylated spirits in my, and I didn't properly dilute it, and I was using it in my ultrasonic cleaner. And an ultrasonic cleaner vibrates, and vibration is movement. Movement creates heat, and heat is not good for resin. So those bits gone a bit soft, didn't they? And Artie just picked them straight out, went at them with a brush, and broke off the little exhausts. So I bought them again so that I could have a second chance at not messing it up, because the models I had made were rather pretty, I thought. There's nothing more orky than bionics, and on the subject of bionics, we have some more. We've got some bionic bodies. They're really cool. I really like these. Some real good variety that you can add there. Oh, look at the details on the back. Oh, fantastic. That shoulder pad there is great. And and it's the same one again. So we got two of those. A lot of things come in doubles. That's cool. For me though, personally, I like variety, so I will break those up, or in some way, you know, like I will add things to them is what I mean, not break them up, you know, I'll add extra details to it and stuff like that. I'm actually going to put out a video very soon where I'll actually show you some of these things that I've used, and I'll show you also how I bits box, because I think that's really important for orking. It's controversial, as I'll explain, but I'll also explain why it's so good. Okay, we've got some torsos, some naked torsos, orc naked torsos. Now, I've had these before, but they look different this time. I don't know whether they had a problem with the cast and they had to sort of, you know, re-sculpt them a bit or what, but I'm not sure. Maybe the guys will tell me if they see this video. They might actually say, yeah, we had to re-sculpt them or something. They just look a little different to how they had done to me before. There you go. I like variety anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right, here we have the orc rockets and chain axes. These are actually new ones from Kromlech. I haven't had these before at all. I thought these were nicely, highly detailed. You get two of those. With the chain axes. It's a ridiculous concept, but it's crazy. And these are nicely detailed. You get two lots of those as well. Splendid. Look at this one. This has actually got like a skull just there. That'd be a nice detail to pick out. Very cool indeed. Next up, we have Snagrat Krom. It's an orc character. Now this one is a commander. He's a much older sculpt, and you can tell by the head. And I know that because I've seen him on the website for a very long time now. And I didn't buy him because personally I didn't like the head. But then when I realised actually I don't have to use this head on this model, then it was, because at first I thought it actually came together, but it is actually multi-part. So I thought, yeah, well that's a nice body. Regardless, that's a really nice orc body. So, and he's sort of knob size, you know. Bigger than a boy, and it's sort of knob size, so he's a nice addition to your knob squad, you know, bit of variety, I think. And he's got this cool arm here, this cool claw. I think that's pretty decent. So, but as it goes, like, this head isn't very good, but in my opinion, but Kromlech do a lot of really, really, really tasty heads, you know, so check them out too. I mean, I really particularly like their freebooter orc pirate heads, you know. They're very, very cool. Here we have some Tank Buster or Tank Hunter backpacks, and these have some rockets to go on the tips of the rocket launchers there. See, so these are cool for your Tank Busters, obviously. I've already had a pack of these and I thought they were so cool, because once you stick that on the back of a normal boy and there you go, boom, you've got a tank buster. I didn't do just that, but you know, you can do just that. It's that simple, and they're so highly detailed. You can go simple with them, or you can go fairly detailed. It's entirely up to you. Here we have one for all you Gretchen fans out there, any of you that might like the Goblins, here we go. Oh hello, we've got two models in there in fact. Okay, we also have the gunner in there. So this is the Ironrack Goblin, the commander. So he's got his cool little fist, which has other parts to it that are obviously, which one's which? Now then, I think that's probably him. Part of a claw, I'd say. He's got another few bits that go on there as well on the back. That's for the gunner. Here. So those are the claw pieces for this guy. So I was thinking he'd be pretty cool for, everybody seems to be using grots now for commanders. So I thought this would be quite fun. Well, that's that. So also in here we have the Africa Corps. Yeah, the Africa Corps gunner. So let's take a little look at the legs. He's wearing shorts. And I've got a few boys in shorts now. It's got treads to the side of the shoes, but where the foot's lifted there, I'm going to want to add some tread on that because I don't like flat feet on the shoes of my orkies. It's a real pain to have to keep fiddling around doing it though. Oh, look at this! I don't know if you can even pick it up, but on his strap there, there's a little emblem, a little. It's not an orc skull, is it? No, it's not. God blimey. I'm going to have to get that under a magnifying glass just to paint that. Anyway, that's the body. The head, yes. Kind of looks like an American from the Civil War. But, that's an Africa Corps head. Oh, I will probably cut that hat because the rest of the head is really cool. It's just that hat doesn't really fit the theme of my orcs, so I'll probably cut that off and or use it as a base to build upon with some green stuff to make a freebooter hat. You know, you can already see the pirate in that dude, can't you? Maybe even stick an eye patch on him. Be awesome. Now then, let's have a look. Now then, boys and girls. Let's not even go down that road. Here's the gun. I'm not sure. Yeah, it needs a bit of trimming up. So that's the gun. That's the other hand for it with some chain wrapped around the hand too. Oh, that's really cool. Nice little detail. And the bullets, the magazine, and the gun prop and stuff. Very nice indeed. Let's see what else we have. Bag of fatties. And punks. So, fatty bodies for a start. These are so cool because not all orcs are going to be toned and tough. Lots of them like to drink soda and fart and gas around. And these bodies, I think, represent that beautifully. And also, I've actually used these on a couple of those mono-wheel bodies because the way I figure it, if you're not using your legs, you're going to put on a bit of a belly. So I've got a couple of fat mono-wheelers. Also got a toned one as well because, you know, like variety I do, as I keep saying. We also have... Oh, these are the Savage Orc bodies. That's what they are. Savage Orcs. So, one of them's got his nipple pierced. One of them's got chain attached to his body for piercings. This one's got some piercings too. Scars. Very cool. That's those. And these are the Savage Orc heads. There's the first one on each one has fallen off. He's got a mohawk. Yeah, there's a bit of variety. There's one with a one of those plates in his lip, but it's an orc skull plate. Look at that. That's incredible. And this head here, I thought this would be fantastic for a weird boy. You know what? I mean, all of them would be great for a weird boy, to be honest. They're very weird boyish heads. So I've never really paid much attention to weird boys in the past, but yeah, I wanna show some love to everything orc. So I'm gonna make some LED lighted eyes or something like that. Some crazy something going on with some weird boy that lights up or something like that. Would be cool. Next up, we have another new product from Kromlech here. We've got the Orc Bullet Spitters. They're fairly new, I'd say. I can't remember. They came out not very long ago. And they've got some lovely details on them too. And I do love a bit. I'll give a little tease actually for my Bits box video now. How about that, right? So here are the Bullet Spitters. Now, I'll show you my box of shooters. Okay, so this is my box of shooters. This is my drawer of shooters even. So in here, I've got all the standardy GW ones that are attached to arms. They're all the ones that come attached to arms. Plus I've got a few others in there. There are a few third-party arms in there too. But they're mostly standardy arms with guns. And then in here, I've got all my loose stacker. So I've got all my individual bits of Dakar. So this is where these bullet spitters are going to go. That's why I'm showing you. So the bullet spitters, I've already actually got some there. But yeah, I'll add them to this little collection. So whenever I'm looking to build a unit with shooters, I just go to my shooters drawer. See? And this is a tease for a later video. So you'll see that in one coming up. Oh, there we go. Some kneeling legs. These are and also in here, yeah, these are all kneeling legs. Yeah, kneeling, and running. I got running legs too. That was it. I thought I ordered running legs too. So the running legs, like this one here, look, it's taken a leap forward. Oh, you can just imagine that someone just about to chuck a stick bomb straight away, can't you? Hey, that's great. I love that. And we've got some kneeling legs too. Great for sneaky gits. They're snipey guns and stuff. These are great as well for kill team, just for adding that little bit of variety to your men, to your orcs, you know, to your boys. Give them a bit of variety. Nice little pouches on his back. So yeah, legs. Not too exciting, but you know, variety. That's what matters. Now we had the Africa Corps gunner, but this is the gunner. And this one's a fairly new build from Kromlech too, and you can tell the quality of it is incredible. Look at this. This is the body. He's got his foot on something there, so he's got this cool pose, cool belt buckle. Bullets round to the back. TNT on the back of the box. Nice little detail. Very nice. Here, got a rocket and part of a weapon there. Not sure which part that is. That's the body of the gun, I suppose. Yeah, it's part. Maybe it's the stand. I'm not sure, because there's also there's the body of the gun with the head. That head is fairly mean looking, isn't he? God, that's nightmarish orc. That is terrifying. You wouldn't want him gunning you down, would you? I might use that on a different orc though, actually. I think that would be fairly good at something else. Yeah. Might not use him on this gunner. I do like to mix it up, like I keep saying. And here we've got some bullets now. That, I'd say, is the first thing I've seen in my entire package with a bit of damage. These bullets are very flimsy looking, so that's where you'd expect to find your damaged bits. I think that's fairly salvageable. I don't think there's anything to worry about complaining there at all. And I will point this out actually, with Kromlech, when you do complain, if you do have good cause to complain, which you very rarely will have, I will guarantee you that. I have bought many things from Kromlech now, I really have. I bought their Goblin Tanks, or their squadron, Goblin Tank squadron, shall we call them. And I'm now just looking, I have purchased them again. So I'll just show you, here they are again. But in doing so, there are 4 of them, and we'll have a little look at them in just a second. But in doing so, I said to them, look, I had a problem with one of the last ones. The tracks were a little bit damaged on the bottoms, so they sent me replacement tracks for the tank that was damaged. Because that's Kromlech for you, you know, like that's a good chunk, a good weight of resin, extra product. I could have been fibbing to them, but I wasn't, you know. It's just this down here. I found that when I cut, I'm going to have to be very careful in trimming this off. I think I was a bit too hasty in trying to trim this off, and it basically broke here. It made a weak point here and it snapped. I lost a bit of track. And they were very kind and they sent me another one set. So, that will replace those. So talking of the Goblin Tanks, I won't actually unbag the entire lot, because I have a better way of showing you these Goblin Tanks in another video, because I've actually already started putting some together and magnetising them and getting a bit of a rust undercoat onto them. So I will do a video about rust undercoating and chipping effects, basically. That's what it's going to be for. It's the undercoat for chipping, so you have a very easy time of it when you're rusting. Okay, so those guys, like I say, they will get a much more detailed review, or not review, but showing off of later in another video, because we have them at a better stage. And here we have some punk heads, and what they're just calling grenades, because I suppose to call them stick bombs would be infringing. So, punk heads. I've had these guys before as well, and I just thought they were really very, very cool. You know, like if you're wanting to sort of like mix it up with Necromunda and sort of, you know, play it a bit Shadow Warrior, you know, I think it's cool to have orc gangs, and or even if you just want to do it for kill team, make them a bit more gangstery, you know. There's some very nice detailed stick bombs there too, look. Beautiful. I always like the ones with the skulls on them, but I mean this round one too, that's pretty funky. Like that.
Right. Yeah. Now that we've had a look at the models, I'd like to explain a little bit more about Kromlech, basically. These models are, in my opinion, fantastic. I'm not being paid to say this in any way, shape or form. Everything I have from Kromlech I've purchased, besides the few freebies that you get every time you purchase, or seem to, as far as I've experienced so far. So every time you make a purchase, you get a little thank you card like this. It says, "Thank you for purchasing our products." And it's signed by your picker. So in this case, it was Eliza. I hope she doesn't mind me showing this up. But I keep these. I think these are quite, you know, quite cute. I'm perhaps a little bit sad for doing so, but there you go. So in a little envelope with that thank you, you also, well, I also received, I mean, it varies every time as to what you get, I can tell you that. But I got some of these fantastic little MDF laser cut emblems. They're glyphs, basically. There are 4 orky ones on there, just here. A Chaos one that's fallen out, and a few Space Marine Imperial ones. Boo. But these orky ones, there's a Bad Moons one, a big Bad Moons one. There's a mech skull. There's a more gothy sort of skull, and a more sort of Death skull down the bottom there. I'm not sure if I will keep these. I might throw these into a giveaway bundle or something like that. And then also, besides the MDF things, there was 2 sets of 2 heads. So I got 4 heads for free. So I got these guys. I'll show you them. Gas mask heads. Now I think they're fantastic. Lovely details. I'm going to use those probably on Burner Boys. And then there was also these guys, like Russian style. They got little stars on their hats there, see? I'm not going to use those though. They just will not fit the theme of my orcs really. Besides which, they'll make a nice little gift to throw into a giveaway. I'm going to start compiling a few bits and bobs for giveaways, because I do have quite a few bits and bobs of extras and spares. And as you saw in that video, a lot of Kromlech parts come in doubles. Now, I wouldn't usually buy something more than once, usually, unless I can see lots of potential for converting it, or yeah, that's about it really. I've got to see potential for converting it, because each one of my models, I like to have them entirely individual. I never want anything looking the same. I don't want to have 2 models that are posed the same or have the same clothes on, the same header and all that. Just never. I just do not like that. Some people's cup of tea, that's fine, especially people that want to just put an army together and play the game. Whereas I fall short of playing the game very often, because I'm too much of a perfectionist in wanting my boys to be just right. So I spend a lot of time sourcing out various parts, components, and other useful bits and bobs that you can actually get that aren't from modelling companies that are really good for orcs, that I'm going to share in my Orc Essentials. And speaking of which, my Orc Essentials playlist is about to receive a new instalment, so keep an eye out for that. As I teased in this video, it's about bits boxing and how to keep and store and separate out your various bits and bobs. It's a very controversial subject, as I've already said, because it's kind of un-orky to be so organised. But trust me, out of the organisation comes the chaos of brilliant orc builds, because by breaking things up, you forget where they came from, and then you just go in and go arm, gun. It's much more fun that way. It's like Lego, you know. Do you remember when you used to buy a Lego set and you used to build it all up and then crush them all down, put them all into one big box and then mix them all together, and then you don't have those sets anymore. You've just got your imagination and you can do all sorts of things with that. So that's coming very soon. Also, these Kromlech models that I've just purchased, I have some of these already in the works on models that I'm converting up. So I'm going to be doing a video in the Mechs Garage, which is my building and painting. I'm not going to say tutorials because it's more build and paint with me. I'm not going to say I'm going to teach anybody anything, although you may learn something. I'm not an expert. Okay, I follow as many other YouTube painters as probably you guys do as well. So I just do my best, as I'm sure we all do, and hopefully during the course of my videos I'll improve. So we might see that, hopefully. But coming in the Mechs Garage will be a converting using Kromlech and other third-party and GW parts to make. I think I'll make Truck Boys or something like that. Because Speed Freaks are all in, and I love Speed Freaks. So look out for that coming real soon. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this little sneak peek at my new toys. If you did, please like the video. Subscribe to my channel because I've got plenty more green skin goodness coming your way. And leave a comment down below, guys. I would really like to start having people message me to share their orc builds and you know, their finished paint jobs with me, so I can share them at the end of my videos, so you can all gawp at their brilliance and take them in and take some inspiration. Anyway, we'll see that soon, and I'll see you soon. Take care and good night.